Responding to a wave of anti-government protests, Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff announced a series of anti-corruption measures on Wednesday. If passed, the measures would bar those with a criminal record from running for office, criminalize slush funds used to finance campaigns, and allow for the seizure of assets of those guilty of corruption.
We have to open our eyes wide and say the time for Brazil to put an end to this process, to these crimes or these practices that continue to corrode our insides, the time is now.
The announcement comes on the same day that new polls showed Rousseff's popularity falling to a new low. According to a Datafolha poll, 62% of respondents said Rousseff's government was bad or terrible. That's the worst rankings for a president since 1992, when President Fernando Collor was impeached for corruption. Also on Wednesday, there were fresh protests against Rousseff in several cities.
Dilma is a manipulator, and she's manipulated by former Brazilian President Lula, so the Workers' Party can't continue in power.
Rousseff's popularity has crashed amidst a widening corruption scandal at the state oil firm Petrobras. Prosecutors have linked dozens of politicians and members of Rousseff's own Workers' Party, or PT, to bribes and kickbacks worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Last Sunday, dozens of protests were held across Brazil in which more than 1 million people marched against Rousseff and the PT. Many at those marches called for her impeachment. Meanwhile, pro-Rousseff protests held last week only attracted a few thousand people. Adam Rainey, Al Jazeera.